Today I am doing some meal prep, so I wanted to kind of show you guys how I do that, and my little additional goal is also to kind of use everything that I have in the fridge and pantry with minimal grocery shopping. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. My name is Sierra and I'm a certified nutrition specialist, and I make videos all about health and wellness. So I have a list on my phone of some meals that I'm going to make. So really, I am just kind of took inventory of everything that I have in the pantry and fridge and tried to think of some meals. And then I really only needed to buy a few things. So I got eggs, chicken, and ketchup and sweet potatoes. So that was all I bought at the grocery store this week, and the rest of it I'm just using from stock items. So I kind of wanted to bring you guys along and maybe give you some inspo as well. So a couple of the things I am making that we'll eat for dinner tonight and lunch tomorrow. That's gonna be my chicken chili with these gluten-free elbows. So I'm gonna start with this one because it's gonna take the longest, and that's usually how I start with my meal prep. Is I'll start with the thing that's going to take the longest to cook, and then while that's cooking, we will just be like cutting and prepping everything else. So it really only takes like maybe an hour total to do everything. So it's really not too much time. So for the chicken chili, I'm gonna start by soaking my peppers in water. I've done this in a previous video for one of my enchilada soups. So soaking these in water will soften them up, and then this will be where we get a lot of that chili flavor from the chili. Okay, while the chilies are soaking, I'm going to cut up this onion and basically gonna throw everything into the crock pot. This onion looks good. The last one did not. Oh no, this onion is rotten. I'm only gonna use about half of the onion for the chili, and then I'm gonna save the rest for some other recipes that I'm making, and then I'm going to chop up my jalapenos and throw those in as well. All right, so now I'm just gonna add everything to my crock pot and put it on high, and that will stay on high for about 4 hours to cook everything through. So I added my onions and jalapeno, and for the beans, I just did a mixture of black beans and some pinto beans. For the seasonings, I'll just do some classic chili seasonings, so salt and pepper, a little bit of oregano, dash of paprika, some cumin, and then most importantly, that's where my chilies come in. So I'm gonna grind this up to get a really nice chili paste. All right, at this point, we will just pour in that chili sauce and then stir everything around and cover it, and then just let it cook for about 4 hours. And then in the meantime, we will go ahead and finish our other prep. Now that my chili is cooking, I'm going to get started on some quinoa. Basically, the way to cook quinoa is it's a 2-to-1 ratio, so 2 cups of water per 1 cup of quinoa. So I will cook this on high until it boils, and then once it starts boiling, cover it and let it simmer for about 20-ish minutes. Now that my quinoa is on the stove, I'm going to start prepping my egg muffins. This is one of my favorite things to make every week because it's so easy to just heat up during the weekdays, and you have a delicious protein-packed breakfast that took you like 30 seconds to heat up in the morning. And it's really quick to make as well. I kind of change up the veggies I use every time. Today, I'm just using what I have on hand. So a little bit of my red onion, I'm gonna use some zucchini, and then I'm also going to try throwing in some potatoes this time. To give the zucchini and potato the best chance of cooking thoroughly, I chopped them really, really small, and then I'm going to saute it up on my cast iron skillet with my onions, and then once that's all sauteed together with my spices, then I mix it in together with my egg yolks that I've already whisked together, and then basically just pour it all in a baking tray. You can either do a kind of like a muffin tin or a full-on, like if you want to do more of like a quiche style, you could do that as well. I've done this both ways. I've even used a casserole dish. It works all the ways. So basically just throw it in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, let it cook for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then they come out just so light and fluffy and just so delicious. Once you put your egg muffins in the oven, go ahead and check on your quinoa. You'll know when your quinoa is done, when it is light and fluffy and easy to stir, and then you can go ahead and remove it from the heat and transfer it to another container for use throughout the week. My egg muffins are cooking, and the last few things I need to do are chop up some vegetables that I'll use throughout the week. So I'm really running low on produce this week, but trying to save some money, so I'm just using what we have. So not too many vegetables this week, but I'm going to be using this cabbage head. I'll probably do some cuts for like a slaw mix, and then maybe some for like stir fry as well. And then I have some broccoli I'll be using, and then I'll also be cutting up some sweet potato and an acorn squash and roasting it to maybe throw together with like quinoa harvest bowls or eat at breakfast or something like that. So I'll be roasting these two and then just chopping up the broccoli and cabbage and leaving those raw for some uses throughout the week. Next, I'm going to chop up my sweet potato and acorn squash, and I'm gonna peel it before I chop it just to help it cook a little bit more thoroughly. And then I put it in my cast iron skillet, throw it in the oven. I usually just keep the oven at 350 for almost everything that I bake. I'm a minimal effort kind of cook, but you could probably cook it a little bit faster at a higher temperature, but I usually just throw it in at 350 and then let it cook for about 30 minutes. So I'll just stir this around a little bit and then throw it in the oven, and now is a good time to check on our egg muffins to see how those are going. Egg muffins look perfect, if you can see these. Really light and fluffy. And then I'll just switch it out for my sweet potatoes. Go ahead and transfer the egg muffins to a container and enjoy throughout the week. Lastly, after about 30 to 40 minutes, the sweet potatoes should be done, so go ahead and store that in a glass container and use within 4 to 5 days. Thanks for joining me in today's video. I know my meal prep was kind of a bit random, but really trying to get creative and utilize everything that I have in my kitchen. So I will leave some meal ideas below in the description for how I'm going to put these ingredients together throughout the week. And I hope you gained some inspo from watching this. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more.